taken on a ton of stress. A lot of things were going on. And, you know, the 4 or 5 days I spent in bed got me thinking about what it is I'm doing, you know, why I'm in front of a microphone, what I'm doing with that time. And, you know, it just got me thinking quite a bit. So I decided to try and rearrange some things, and I decided to try and move around my schedules, and decided to try and see what else I could do to try and to keep up with basically everything that was going on. I made you know, changes to my schedule, and I made different things. I tried to organize myself a little better. Diagnosed a while back with, among other things, bipolar disorder, severe social anxiety, various different things, which you wouldn't think would be something that somebody would, you know, with those afflictions would get up on a microphone and start talking. So got some medication for that. Medication obviously wasn't working. I mean, the fits of rage, the different symptoms were, you know, they were lessened. I wasn't as angry. I wasn't as frantic as I used to be. I certainly didn't turn to drugs or alcohol like I did previously to try and combat these things. Because frankly, my medication wouldn't allow me to. One time I got a drink at a bar. I asked for a Coke. Lady poured some Jack in it. I drank it, and before I realized what was going on, I was loaded onto a gurney and sent to the hospital. Yeah, alcohol doesn't mix well with this medication. Certainly doesn't. So, my doctor decided to up my dose. And the funny thing about that is that, you know, you go from one dose to the next, and you don't think it's going to be a drastic change. At least I didn't. I didn't think it was going to be a drastic change. The dosage went up, and it was like... Now, this type of medication is experimental at best. I mean, people tend to react to it a certain way, or they, you know, if there's too much, they turn into zombies. Not literally, like, not like they eat bones and shit, but they turn into, basically, turn into lobotomized people. I knew people who were on way too much medication, and they were mellow, but they were a little too mellow. So for me, it was all about finding the right balance and finding something that allowed me to handle the frantic pace of my life, but not like, you know, not like fall out. You know what I mean? So I got an added dosage of medication that I needed. And, you know, it's funny. These are antipsychotics, but they are psychotics. They affect your brain. They keep you from thinking certain things. They keep you from acting in certain ways. They fill this little hole that's in your brain. They fill this little area that most quote-unquote normal people have. But it's funny, when I started on the higher dosage, I became a lot more lucid than I was before. And, I basically thought of things very differently. Now, how does this long, drawn-out sob story relate to this particular broadcast? Well, just thought I'd let you know where I was coming from. Because, people come and go from these platforms, and they do it for different reasons. And the reason that I'm doing it is because, well, you get into a situation. I got myself into a situation where I felt I dug myself too much of a hole. I could turn around and start doing the types of shows that I wanted to do, not drama-filled productions or trashing other show hosts, because to be honest, that was all a trick. That was all a ploy. I never really had anything against anybody here, not even the BWC. I understand why they do what they do. And, when I was younger, in a different place, I would have been right there. Not with them, I don't think. I mean, they're a pretty exclusive crew and whatnot, but, yeah. It's, I would have been right there. I would have thought everything they did was hilarious. I would have thought it was real fun, and at first it was. It was really fun to just trash and dog and just be, just irresponsible and funny and, hurt people at their expense, which is always like, well, let me just say this. It never ends well. I mean, for one person or the other, it never ends well. And, generally, anyway, I'll get to the point. I'm kind of rambling here, and, anybody who may be listening probably has better things to do at this point, so I'll make it quick. And if anybody's listening, I say thank you. I haven't clicked open the chat room. Kind of wanted this to be off the cuff, and kind of I wanted to make it rather quick, but I wanted to make it rather thorough. So, bottom line is I think I've trashed my shit on this platform. There's no going back. There's a point to where you achieve respect, and then that goes away. And if for one reason or another, you try to come back, you try to have the same strength, but it's kind of like baseball players who make multiple different comebacks. And you look at them and you're just like, why are you doing this? You just don't have it. You're not there. Why do you hold on so much? Well, it's the love of the game, of course. I like getting in front of this microphone. I like doing it. I enjoy broadcasting. I enjoy making intros, outros. I enjoy doing all that stuff. And I enjoy a lot of the people here. So, bottom line is that I never was really one for the Spreaker late night crowd. Spreaker late night crowd is a different breed. They're intelligent. They're funny as hell. and they are merciless. It seems like their whole reason for even being on the air is to exert some sort of power, is to try and knock down someone else. There are a lot of talented people here on Spreaker. Guy Shea's one. Goofy Bones another. And what I saw last night was not radio. What I saw last night was an argument. What I saw last night was anger and threats and all sorts of things. And I know it's all for show. I know it is what it is, whatever. But there's always going to be somebody who takes it to the nth degree. And, you know, that's the bottom line. Just not my crowd, you know. And there are going to be those who think I'm, you know, quitting, a pussy, whatever. I'm not going to stop broadcasting. Not going to stop broadcasting at all. I'm just going to be doing more of what I want to do. And the crowd that's attracted to that will come and they will listen. If they don't come, then that's fine. I enjoy doing what I do. I know that I can get an audience without dragging people's name through the mud, without completely trashing other people, or being trashed, or going into dramatic. I don't know where the fuck I was this summer. I really don't. Probably because I've never received so much attention in my life for doing something I loved. That was probably something that had something to do with it. Mob mentality. You know, and it's just kind of one of those things where I'm going to start doing what I want to do, you know? And I can't do what I want to do from this particular place. Because there's always going to be the shadow of what I did before. I can't dig out of that. I mean, Chris Topp's been doing interviews for years. And he's got his loyal followers. And yet, there's still people who bring him up from years ago. I mean, nobody ever forgets. So, what chance do I have on this platform? I don't have one, period. I don't have a chance here. It's a different breed. So, there will be no more Spreaker late night for me. I'm staying out of it. So, in closing, and I can't wait to read the chat room. I'm wondering what and who is there. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been great, but it's time to start doing what I want to do. So, Spreaker late night, folks, continue to trash each other and tear each other up. BWC, keep doing what you do. Ain't no one to stop you. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So